All right, let's talk about NCEA 91898 on artificial intelligence. This is your game plan, your strategic roadmap to absolutely nail this achievement standard. We're going to break down exactly how to climb from an achieved to a merit and all the way up to that excellence grade.
Look, we've all been there, right? You're staring at that blank page, you see the words artificial intelligence, and your mind just goes blank. It feels huge, but I promise you, by the end of this, you are going to have a super clear plan. You can totally do this.
So think of me as your coach for this exam. We're not just going to talk about what to write. I'm going to show you how to think and how to structure your answer to hit every single one of those marking points.
We're going to frame your answer like a staircase. It makes so much sense. Each step builds perfectly on the last one, taking you from a really solid foundation right up to that top grade. It's a logical flow, and it's exactly what the markers are looking for.
Okay, let's get into it. First things first, we've got to lay the groundwork. Securing that achieved grade is our foundation, and it's all about proving to the marker that you know the basics.
The magic word for achieved is demonstrate. You're not trying to do a deep, critical analysis just yet. Your one job here is to clearly and accurately show that you understand the fundamental concepts of AI. Let's see what that looks like.
So you start with a solid, clear definition of AI. Just think of it like this. It's all about making computer systems that can do things that usually need a human brain. Stuff like learning, solving problems, or even just understanding what we're saying. Okay, next up, you have to explain a bit about how it works. And the perfect mechanism to talk about is machine learning. The key idea here, and it's a big one, is that we're not coding rules for every single possibility. Instead, we give the AI a ton of data and it learns the patterns all by itself. Now, you've got to ground your answer in the real world with some killer examples. And these are things you see every day. Talk about the self-checkout at the supermarket, using computer vision to see your groceries, or a website chatbot using natural language processing to figure out your question. Heck, even the YouTube algorithm that suggested this video is a perfect example. Be specific. And finally, to really lock in that achieved grade, explain how AI could be used to solve a real problem. A classic example is using AI to control traffic lights based on what the traffic is actually doing right now. That could make everyone's drive to school or work just a little bit less painful. Okay, our foundation is solid. Now it's time to climb to that next step on the staircase, merit. This is where we start to build on top of that basic knowledge and show a much, much deeper understanding. So to get to merit, you got to go beyond just what AI is. You have to explain its effects. The key word here is impact. It's all about answering the so what question. What are the consequences for people and for society? And hey, we don't have to guess what the markers are looking for. The official NCEA report tells us straight up that explaining ethical issues and using multiple specific examples is a highway to a merit grade. So let's give them exactly what they want. A perfect ethical issue to really sink your teeth into for merit is AI bias. This one is huge. Basically, AI systems learn from whatever data we feed them. And if that data has all of our historical human biases baked into it, which, let's be honest, it often does, the AI will learn those biases too, and sometimes even make them worse. It's the classic garbage in, garbage out problem. And this is where providing multiple, specific examples is so important. You could talk about how some facial recognition systems are less accurate for women or people of color because of the data they were trained on, or how a hiring AI could learn to prefer male candidates just because it was trained on a company's past hiring history. These real-world examples show you get it. Another great angle for merit is to talk about future-proofing. This is about thinking ahead. How do we make sure AI is a force for good? You could discuss things like needing clear laws, making AI systems more transparent so we understand their decisions, and of course, testing them like crazy to prevent bad stuff from happening. Okay, we've made it to the top of the staircase. Excellence. This is where you go from explaining to evaluating. It's about bringing everything together to show a truly critical, big picture understanding. For excellence, it's all about digging into the key problems and issues in real detail. You're showing that you can wrestle with the most complex, the most challenging parts of AI, and importantly, connect different ideas together. A fantastic top-tier problem to discuss for excellence is AI hallucinations. You need to explain not just what it is, which is basically an AI making stuff up, but also why it happens.
The AI isn't really thinking, it's just predicting the next most likely word in a sentence. And that can lead to it confidently saying things that are completely false, which is a huge, huge problem.
Now, to really show you're operating at an excellence level, you need to demonstrate that you get the technical details. A perfect way to do this is to compare and contrast core concepts, like supervised versus unsupervised learning. Just think of it this way. With supervised learning, the AI has a teacher because it's learning from data that's already been labeled by humans. But with unsupervised learning, it's on its own, trying to find interesting patterns in a sea of unlabeled data.
But listen, here is the absolute secret weapon for excellence. It's all about making the link between concepts. So first, you state the technical mechanism clearly. For instance, an AI is being trained using supervised learning on a company's historical hiring data.
Second, you bring in that ethical problem we talked about for merit. In this case, that same AI hiring tool is now showing a clear bias against female applicants.
And here it is, the excellence link that ties it all together beautifully. You explicitly connect the dots. You state that the technical mechanism, using supervised learning on that biased historical data, is the direct cause of the ethical problem, a discriminatory AI. Showing you understand this cause and effect relationship, that is pure excellence. So there you have it. That is your staircase to excellence. Let's just do one final quick review of the game plan. Just remember these 3 key steps. First, demonstrate the basics, the what. Second, explain the impact, the so what, and the ethical side. And finally, for excellence, you create that critical link between the technical why and the complex problems it creates.
And once again, don't just take my word for it. The official assessment report could not be clearer. The top candidates, the ones who get excellence, are the ones who can make these connections. Linking different parts of the topic together is the sign of a top-tier answer.
So you have it all now. You've got the structure, you've got the keywords, you've got the strategy. The framework is all yours. Now it's your turn to go out there and build that awesome, compelling, excellence-level answer. Good luck.